Hello everyone and welcome to nartistworms.com. So today's video topic is actually an experiment. I am doing an experiment with a new bedding and actually a new worm chow formula. I add a couple of ingredients actually to my already rich and completely worm chow formula, and I want to make this experiment and see how the worms are doing. So I'm doing a new bedding where is peat moss, horse manure and mushroom substrate all together, and I will mix the worm chow in all the bedding inside, and also I want to pass this new bedding through the new big grinder. So I want to do the bedding very fine and make very accessible for the worms. The horse manure it's pretty aged, so it's nice, it's dry, and I think it will be passed through the grinder very easy. And you know, let's see what happens. It's a 4 weeks experiment, so I don't know how long actually this video will be, but it's very important that you will watch all the video, you know, to understand how this experiment is doing. I will check once a week how the worms are doing. I will check more than once a week, but I will show you once a week how the worms are doing, and I will even feed those worms. I will choose the 500 of my bigger, healthier, and the most beautiful red wigglers I have on all my wormery for this experiment. You know, I want to supercharge this bedding. I want to give a lot of amazing food to the worms. I want to see how they're doing and how many cocoons they lay. So let me show you what I'm using for this experiment. Bedding I prepared. You see I put some ingredients that will be grinded because I will grind it through the big grinder, and this is actually a little things that I use only for experiment. So I will use this thing. I think I will put up around 2 gallons of these beddings in total, and I want to put like in a corner of whatever is left over in a corner of one of the big bed to see how the worms of the big bed will react to this bedding. But the most important thing I want to do this experiment is put 500 worms here. Okay, so let me organize everything, and then we will pass through this big grinder that I got like a month ago, and of course it worked like shocking. These things will be noise, so what I do now, we will start, and I already fixed here there are like a regulator for how fine I want it. I want everything very fine, and there are a reason why. So worms don't have teeth, of course, we know that, but they have mouth. So they ingest stuff through the mouth, and you can imagine the worm's mouth is not this big. So with these things, guys, I am able to grind fine like a fine flours that it's perfect for the worms, and the worms they can eat very easy. So I regulated the grinder I wanted. After a different experiment, I found the perfect size that I wanted, and now I will start the process. So first thing, we will run this machine. It's pretty loud. Okay, at least we cover the noises from outside. And put the laser out here. So how you see now, I finished that. It is amazing. It's very fine. There are some stuff that are not fine like everything, but this grinder actually I had to put on a bigger number, because how I usually grind for the worm chow, it was getting stuck in some way. So I guess that it's a little different from the you know, the cereals and everything I grind for the worm chow, and that's okay. So then just let me put the water, and let's set up these things on the ladle bin. Let's go and water this new bedding. I'm pretty sure that the worms will love it, and they will be very, very happy here. But it's a new way, you know, it's a new thing that I want to experiment. And I mean, if I lose 500 worms for any reason or don't work, I will be very, very sad, but not sad as you know, doing all my reproduction bin, actually. So guys, experimenting, you know, if you want to do experimentation with your worms, do it. Actually, it's very nice because you learn a lot of things, but do it always in a small, you know, in small things. For example, if you are not sure about some food that you are doing, giving to your worm, it's always good thing to put some in a corner and see how the worms react. Okay, let me finish here, okay? Okay, so this is more or less 2 gallons. Actually, it's a little less, so we put a couple of handful more inside. So now I will move these things here. Okay. But you know what? I think that this is more than enough for 500 worms. Yeah, this is around 2 gallons. That's enough. So now I will put this one in one of my big bins, you know, just in a corner and see what happens. But I want to definitely wait at least 3-4 days and you know, see if this bedding for any reason rises the temperature. I don't want to risk to kill the worms. So the next time I will check with you guys this bedding. If it's okay, I will choose the 500 worms, the better, the healthier, the fattest I have. And we start our experiment. So meanwhile, I will put this leftover in one of the big bins, and it will be a little experiment this too, and see if the worms they like it. I don't care if I raise the temperature a little bit because the bin is so big that the worms they can move over. Okay, so I show you the bin where actually I'm putting this leftover bedding. Okay, this is the big bin. This is, if I remember, it's like 6 feet by 2 feet. And this is actually the bin that I built as a nursery. But in the time, I switched this like as a huge reproduction bin for pure red wigglers. Because so what I did, I put all the cocoons here, and I just you know, took care of these cocoons till they are now adult. From the moment I put the cocoons here, for the moment that they're adult, it took around 3 months and a half, 4 months, something like that. So I'll show you how beautiful is this bin, and I have actually 6 bins like that. 2 are bigger. So let me put a little closer. Okay. All right. So you see, those are all beautiful, pure red wigglers. And this is fed only worm chow. And once in a while I put some scratch. So those are all red wigglers, pure. There is a lot. And there are some juvenile too, actually. Maybe some, you know, eggs they hatch a little later. There are a bunch of worms here. Yeah, this is a juvenile, for example. That's a beautiful bin. Okay, so now what we do, I put all this leftover bedding on this side. So it will be not easy to recognize the new bedding from the old one, but I know that I put all on this side. So let's see what happens. Okay guys, that's it for now. See you back in like 3-4 days to check if the bedding is not raising the temperatures. If not, I will inoculate the worms. Okay, so we are here after 5 days actually, and let's check how this bedding is doing. So I check actually the temperature. The temperature was always more or less the same. It's like 71 degree. So the temperature is perfect, and the bedding made a little mold, and I am okay with that, of course. Yeah. The only things that I am not liking very much is that this bedding is so fine that it compacts a little bit. So what I want to do now to give a little more, you know, air, fluffiness, and space, you know, and to prevent to compact more, because again on the reproduction bin, the humidity, the moisture have to be a little higher. I like to be around 80%, something like that, between 80 and 90. You know, the worms, they like very much the moisture, and they will thrive in this kind of moisture. So what I want to do, actually, I want to add some pine shaving. Yeah, the pine shaving, it will not degrade, it will not compost very fast, but at this point I don't care, you know. The worms, they will feed on the bedding, and eventually they can use the pine shave actually to scratch themselves, you know. And again, I want to give a little more fluffiness and air to this bedding. So let me go and pick up some pine shaving. Okay, let's add some of this pine shaving, and you know, make the bedding a little looser. So pine shaving actually I like very much. It will not degrade very fast. It will not compost very fast, but I like very much because it gives a lot of fluffiness of the bedding, and actually, you know, it's wood shaved, so the worms, they, you know, they like to scratch on this kind of stuff like cardboard or this wood shaving, and release their cocoon. It's something that the worms really like, and also it will help a little bit to retain moisture. So now I think that the bedding is perfect. Of course, I need a little more water, a little more moisture, and just a little, not too much. Because in these 5 days, of course, it lost a little moisture, so I want to add a little bit with the mist, but just a little. I think that this is enough. All right, let me just mix very well. I will put a little more mist on the top when I inoculated the worms. So right now, I will go to actually choices 500 adult, the most beautiful, the most nicest worms and the healthiest worms I can find on my bed. For that reason, now I want to show you one of my big reproduction bin of pure red wigglers. So this is the bin number 5, and I reset this bin about 20 days ago. So what I'm doing, I am trying to move the reproduction bin actually in those big actually reproduction bin that for me it's easily to, you know, to take care of, and it's doing great. Those are doing amazing. If you see, there are some mushrooms here, they are growing, and the compost, it's beautiful. The worms, they are really thriving here. So you see how many worms there are. This is really full of worms. So, and they are actually mixed. There are some juvenile, there are some adult, you know. So what I will do with this it's around 4 weeks maybe. I will take another couple of weeks and I will actually restart this bin. Okay, so let me choose some you know, adult from this bin, and I will show you what I got. Okay, I pick up around the 500 worms. It was a little longer system, and I am ready actually to inoculate those worms here on this bedding. All right, now I'll show you the worms too. Okay, so see, those are very nice worms. Yeah, pretty good size. Hold on, my phone. Okay, sorry, here we are again. My phone sometimes look like I am Jeff Bezos. I don't know if Jeff Bezos have all this call I have. So, guys, this is all the worms, you know. They are like around 500. Maybe like, I don't know if they are a little less, a little more, because, you know, I just count them by heart. So what do we do now? Now we will leave these worms here, you know, do their stuff. And usually when I inoculate worms for the first time in the new bedding, I will not touch those worms for a week. I will give them, you know, a week of time to get established in the new bedding. I like to always give a little more water, so they help them to go down a little bit. So I will not touch those worms for like a week, and after a week I will feed again. So my feeding protocol for these worms, for this experimental bin, will be like feed twice a week, like Monday and Thursday, and I will feed a little bit more than I usually feed the reproduction bin, because I want to see if those worms, by any chance, you know, can be very, very happy, and they can grow bigger, and they can lay more cocoons. So that's just, you know, hang with me regarding this experiment, and it's very important, of course, that you see hold the video till the end. Maybe it can be a little longer. I will try to keep the video, you know, as short as possible, and we will see what happens. And we will actually, oh, there are two that actually are breathing. I didn't see when I pick up, so let's leave this guy alone. Okay. All right, so this is actually juvenile. I don't have okay, whatever, you know, picking 500 worms by hand, one by one, it can be a little boring and time consuming. So, okay guys, see you in a little while. For you will be like in a couple of seconds, for me will be next week. Okay, so it's a week since I inoculated the 500 red wigglers here in this bedding. So now let's check it out after a week that I didn't feed actually those worms. Of course, I check out, I flu fed the bin, you know, and see what was happening, and the worms are perfect and amazing, and they are very well established, and they are very, very nice. And actually it looks like they got some little weight with this solution of beddings and wormy CHOW. Yeah, the worms look pretty healthy and nice. Okay, so what I do now, I will feed again these guys with some wormy CHOW. Okay, yeah, they look pretty good, active, and nice. Yeah. Okay, and again, they look like they got a little weight, maybe mass. Okay. Okay, so let's feed some wormy CHOW. I will not feed a lot, because starting now I will feed almost every day, and I don't know, every other day, and I will feed pretty heavy. So I want to see what happens. Okay, so I want to, yeah, surface feed, and now let me get some water, just to mist a little water. Okay, I think it's okay because the moisture level was actually very, very good. Again, for this kind of reproduction bin, I like that the bedding is it's a little too moist than the regular one. Actually, I don't like it. The worms like it. So if the worms like it, I like it. All right, let's wait a couple of days and we will be again to check it. Okay, guys, today is the day 13 since I inoculated the worms in this experimental reproduction bin. So let's go to check it out. I already fed twice, so today will be like the third time I fed this guy. The first time I fed after 5 days, 6 days actually, to inoculate, so I gave them 6 days to just get used, you know, to the new beddings, the new bedding, and after I am like feeding every two days, every other day. So that's look, it's working very well. The worms definitely they got some sides, and they are very, very happy. I found more than one couple they breed, so, and the bedding is doing perfect. The moisture is perfect. Again, it's a little over moist, if you want to say over moist, if we compare to the regular beans, because you know the reproduction bean they like more moist. Look how beautiful is this one. Yeah. So of course I choose the 500 very nice and healthy worms, but they definitely they got some little sides and up, and they are eating everything. I don't find any leftover. So every 2 days, every other day, I feed these guys, and I make them happy and fat. So I tried actually to see if I saw some cocoons, but I didn't see any cocoons. I don't know if it's too early, maybe just 13 days, or I don't know, maybe I can see because it's not always that you can see cocoons. Yeah, that are very, very nice worms. They are all adult, you see the talon, very nice sides. And you know, let's see what they're doing. I give them 4 weeks. I decided instead of the regular 3 weeks, you know, turnover. I want to give 1 week more because I want to see if they give me more cocoons. You know, new bedding, new environment, new friends. So I want to give it 1 more week. All right, so. Let's put some, I want to give actually like a couple of minutes they burrow down. I don't like to spray the worms, to cover the worms with the worm chow. So let's just wait a couple of minutes, they burrow down. Just a quick update. Today is week 3, so exactly 21 days. And if I thought that I will wait 4 weeks actually, but I think I will now wait 4 weeks because these things, it's very full of cocoon. There are thousands of cocoons, guys. The worms are doing great. Let me see if I can show you something. Yeah, you see cocoons. Here, cocoons. There are a bunch of cocoons, and it's almost ready. So the worms are doing great. They definitely get some good sides after I push this feeding routine. So look here. Look the size of this wiggler, red wiggler. So they are actually breeding like crazy, and again it's full of cocoons. So what I do now after 21 days, let me just fluff it a little bit. So after 21 days I will give it the last feed, and 3-4 days and I will finish this bedding. Look here, there are a bunch of cocoons everywhere. I hope you can see. So, and I will start the second phase of this experiment. I mean, it's not an experiment, I already knew that. It was the result. Yeah, the worms are amazing, beautiful, very, very happy, very, very active. Again, they got a lot of sides. It looks like almost a euro. All right, let me take some food for these guys. Okay, just a quick food, not very too much. That's it. I mean, I think it's a little more than I thought, but it's okay. All right. Little mist. The worms are happy and fat. Okay, so let's wait 3 more days, and you know, and I will harvest all the worms, and I will put the cocoon in a different container. Okay, guys. So this is the last actually feeding that I'm doing before to harvest this amazing actually bean. If you see, the worms are doing great. They are beautiful. Look at the size that they gain. Look at the size of these worms. They are beautiful, guys, and they really, really lay a lot of cocoon. Look how big this is. It looks like almost a euro. But the things that really astonished me that in 3 weeks actually they were able to transform all the bedding in worm casting, and that was perfect. So at first I thought to do this experiment for 3 weeks, change your mind 4 weeks, but I went back on 3 weeks. So today it's day 21. I will feed for the last time, and in 2 days actually I will harvest. So guys, let's harvest this bedding. I will use the method of light separating method. So that will put all these all the worms in one of this bin under a very bright light, and you know, the worm they burrow down, and I will scrap the surface till there are only worms. I already did actually a video on the light separating method that I will link down on the description, and up on the top right link. So let's start this. I like always to use to have on me a container to pick up the stray worms. The worms, they are just go around. It will be easily I start to pick up worms. So let's make like a big balls, compact big balls, and so the worms they start to burrow down, and we will pick up everything. Okay, so I'm done. Those are the 500 worms. Okay, so now what I wanna you show is actually the numbers of cocoons that I found in the bin. If I can show you here if you can see the numbers of cocoons. Look here. The number of cocoons that there are is really something that astonishes me. 500 worms, they produce a awful amount of cocoons. That really don't surprise me, but in some way I am surprised at. Okay, so hang with me another couple of seconds. I want to recap everything what we did with this masterclass. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video, of this actually first video, because I want to follow up with you and see actually how the beans with all the cocoons doing, how many worms come out from this experiment. So I start 2 gallons of bedding and 500 adult worms. The bedding was horse manure and peat moss and my worm chow. I add a little pine shaving because I actually shredded very fine the bedding, and it was a little too compact for for what I liked. So I added a little pine shave to give more fluffiness, you know, more space to the bedding. And I keep the moisture of the bedding pretty high, around 90–100% maybe. When you have the moisture, this kind of a high moisture, you need to fluff a lot, like at least 3 times a week. So you don't want to go anaerobic and compact too much. So at the beginning, I thought to feed those worms like twice a week with only worm chow, of course. But I saw that the worms, they went through the food very fast. So I decided to feed them every other day, like 3 times a week, something like that. And with pretty heavy actually. And the worms, they eat everything. So this reproduction bin was very successful. I harvested everything on the 23rd day. So after 23 days, and the last time I feed those worms was 2 days ago, and the food was gone. There was no absolutely any kind of trace of worm chow. So what I do now, how I proceed these things, I will do the same kind of bedding, and this time I will add 500 or 1,000 more worms. See how long it will take me to harvest one by one, you know, 500 worms. And I will start again, you know, and I will have the cocoon bin and the reproduction bin with only 1,000 when I push this much with the feeding. The actually reproduction bin, actually I don't push this much. I do just twice a week. Usually I try to do like a Monday and Thursday, and it's okay. The worms, they're very happy and they're good. So, but I wanna try to see, and actually we saw together what happened when I push the feeding with the worm chow. The worms, they become double, maybe 3 times their size when we started. They look almost like euro. So the worm chow is working amazing. The worms are very happy. The bedding with this high moisture actually is doing very great. The worms love it. They breed like crazy, and you know, they lay a bunch of cocoons. So this is everything for now. Let's see, every couple of weeks, you know, every other week, I will make a little video, you know, to see on the cocoon bin. So maybe I just make one video, you know, with different times when I check, like I did in this video. So if you have any question, just write down. Of course, if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. That would be help a lot, you know, and incentive me to do more. And you can find Red Wigglers on my website, www.northeastworms.com. Thank you very much, guys, and see you next time.